Jaron Ennis gives his thoughts on Canelo versus Crawford. But he didn't see the fight.
I need y'all to get the likes up, man. Get the likes up. Smash the like button. We have 350 people and 95 likes.
Jaron Ennis got a fight coming up October 11th against Lima. I still can't pronounce the dude's first name, but Boots got a fight coming up with this guy. First fight at 154 pounds. And then we get to see how Jaron Ennis really looks, right? But Jaron Ennis, as we know, assisted Canelo Alvarez in his campaign to defeat Terrence Bud Crawford. Canelo Alvarez was unsuccessful in his attempt to beat the mighty Terrence Bud Crawford. Now Jaron Ennis got his own fight coming up, 154-pound debut. We're going to be paying close attention to Jaron Ennis. But Jaron Ennis gives his thoughts on Canelo versus Crawford. Check it out.
It was like, I think by the time they came on, it was like probably like 1 o'clock or something like that.
It was like 1 and some change.
I trained twice that day. I was like, I'm gonna just try to stay up. And the fight before that was
and Billy Martinez.
I was watching like 1 or 2 rounds of that. They was going at it. Though I wanted to falling asleep. I'm like, yo, I can't stay up no longer. I just wanted to fall asleep. But that was a great one for Crawford. Go fight for boxing. I seen some highlights on the gram and stuff. It was a good one. It was a good one. You know, he accomplished a historic goal and good one for him.
Were you surprised about the outcome?
I mean, it's boxing. Anything happen, you know. So good one for him.
Salute to my boy YSM Sports Media. Jaron Ennis, man. If you see the comments, right? A lot of people saying Boots is a hater. Jaron Ennis, man. I don't know if he don't know how to play the game, or he just don't want to play the game. But Jaron Ennis, man. Oh man, just looking at the comments, right, of that video, people just don't like what Boots got to say. They just didn't like what he had to say about the fight. What you mean you didn't watch the fight, bro? What you mean you fell asleep, bro? Like, how you fall asleep on Canelo versus Crawford and you was in camp helping Canelo beat Crawford and you fell asleep on the fight? How did that happen? Oh, well, he was training that day and it was up late. You know, on the East Coast, they was way hours ahead. They did have us up pretty late that night. I'm not going to lie. But I made sure I stayed up for that fight. I made sure of it. There was no way in hell that I was going to go to sleep on Canelo versus Crawford by any means, right? But Jaron Ennis apparently fell asleep. And he missed the fight. And then he said he watched some clips and highlights. Bro, you didn't go back and watch the fight? It was on Netflix. You didn't go back and watch it? You didn't go back. So you mean tell me you didn't go back and watch it? Really? You didn't go back and watch Terrence Crawford put up that masterful performance against Canelo. You just didn't. You said, no, I ain't going to watch it. I helped Canelo, try to help Canelo go out and beat this guy, you know. You didn't go watch it? Nah, you didn't. And a lot of people call him a hater because of this. Now, Jaron Ennis really may have fallen asleep and whatever, but this is just the climate that Jaron Ennis is in right now. He's not in a positive, how do I want to say it? Boxing fans looking at Jaron Ennis with the side eye. That's the best way I could say it. They're just looking at him with the side eye. You know, maybe it's because of the boogeyman moniker. Maybe it's because he was calling everybody out. And now it's looking like, you know, whenever there's some real smoke and there's no real fights happening, you know. He moved up to fight a Lima, you know. And then when you see guys move up like Devin Haney, he's moved up to fight a Brian Norman Jr., dangerous fight. You see Terrence Crawford move up 2 or 3 weight class fight, Canelo Alvarez, a dangerous fight. But then when we look at Jaron Ennis, another one of the super talented fighters in the sport, he move up, he's fighting a Lima. Right? So box fans kind of look at him a certain type of way. And I get the kind of, and I hate to say this word, you guys know, but it goes well with everything. I get the vibe that Jaron Ennis is going to be like this era's, I'm not comparing the skills or anything, but the way boxing fans felt about Antonio Tarver is probably what Jaron Ennis is going to go through. And the way fans feel about Terrence Crawford, well, they feel the same about Roy Jones. They just love Roy Jones, right? He's like a beloved fighter. Roy Jones can't do no wrong in most boxing fans' eyes, right? Especially guys around in my age group, right? Roy Jones is the black Superman, right? well, Terrence Bud Crawford is probably going to be looked at in a somewhat similar light, right? And Jaron Boots Ennis, it's going to be like no matter what he do, it's not going to work. Now, he may have, if he had took a different approach, right? If he had maybe took the Virgil fight, even if he wasn't ready for it or whatever the case may have been, just saying yeah. Because the top guys like Crawford, you never heard Crawford turn down no smoke, right? When it was time to fight, it was time to fight. And it's been time for Jaron Boots Ennis to fight, but then when it seemed like it's time to fight, for whatever reason, whether it's his reason or whether it's the opponent reason or whether it's the politic reason, the fight just don't happen, right? But I get the vibe that he's going to be like this era's Antonio Tarver. Great fighter, but just not well received by the boxing people, right? Boxing fans. Just for whatever reason, Jaron Boots Ennis is super talented. Now, maybe he can win the fans over somewhat later on, but he don't do himself no favors with these interviews, bro. I don't know if people just don't, I don't know. I'm going off the comments, right? I'm going off of what the people are saying. This isn't necessarily how I feel, but I'm going off of what the people are saying, and this is what everybody is kind of saying about Boots. So for Jaron Boots Ennis, he got to go, what he kind of should have did, since Terrence Crawford, because certain fighters, you can't do certain things to certain guys or the fans will go hate you. Like, similar when Antonio Tarver, you thought that he would have got all the juice and all the praise and all the love in the world from defeating the black Superman, Roy Jones, right? Captain Hook, right? You thought he's going to get all the praise in the world from me. No, he was the most hated dude on the universe from beating Roy Jones. He was the most hated dude, and Antonio Tarver didn't do nothing wrong. You know what I'm saying? He just beat the mighty great Roy Jones Jr., and everybody hated him for it, right? Well, Jaron Boots Ennis is likely going to be in a similar position without actually fighting a guy like Terrence Crawford. People just not on his page with hey, look, I'm just telling you what the climate is right now, right? Jaron Boots Ennis, maybe he needs to start playing into the fans a little bit more, right? Maybe he should have said he watched the fight. Maybe he should have said something like, man, Terrence Crawford looked great. He looked phenomenal in the fight. Wow, he did better than I expected. I thought Canelo was going to win because he was bigger, but Terrence Crawford, he's great. Like, maybe if he had to say something like that, then the fans would jump on board with him a little bit, right? He don't know how to play the game enough, in my opinion. And like I said before, and I'll say it again, he needs a PR person ASAP. Like, he needs a PR person. Jaron Boots Ennis is way too talented and way too good and too disciplined for boxing fans or for the boxing world to not be on board with Jaron Boots Ennis right now, right? That's just what it is, man. I'm not sure if it's his personality. I'm not quite sure if it's lack of quality opposition on his resume. I'm not quite sure what it is, but for whatever the case, Jaron Boots Ennis couldn't stay up for the best fight of this year between Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Bud Crawford. But tell me what you guys think. Is Jaron Boots Ennis hating when he said that he fell asleep and didn't see the fight? Or did he really fall asleep because he was just so tired that day? Tell me what you guys think. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.